Today I would like to talk about sex negativity versus sex repulsion. Well, actually I'm more just going to talk about sex negativity and what that means, because I think a lot of us understand what being sex repulsed is, but where sex negativity stems from is a very complicated issue. A while ago, when I say that, I mean several years ago, I used to be extremely sex negative. Like, really, really sex negative. I thought it was not just disgusting, I thought it was kind of evil and a sign of moral character corroded and all these other things that a lot of people associate when they think of sex negativity. And part of this has to do with that I was raised in a very strongly anti-sex environment when I was young, and the other reason was when around the time where a lot of my peers were wondering about exploring their sexual identity and kind of growing into their puberty, my parents were getting divorced because of my dad's extramarital affairs. It was actually during this whole affair and the nasty divorce that I started questioning my ideas on sex negativity. There was one night where my dad came in and after the papers had been filed and all those other things, my mom had started going out with another man because basically the marriage with her and my dad was over. It was just being dragged out in court forever, and they had an argument, and the thing that struck out the most for me was that my dad, in a fit of anger or whatever, he called my mom a whore. That insult is weighted in so many different ways, but it was at that point that I just kind of was surprised and thought, that's an incident of the pot calling the salt shaker black, isn't it? Because the whole divorce had started out because he was having multiple extramarital affairs. It confused me. I was like, he's using sex, or the implication that she has sex, as an insult, when he's the one who has been having all the... It didn't make any sense. That was one of those instances where I didn't realize it at the time, but I really just kind of went, that doesn't make any sense. Not long after that, I started really analyzing why the whole affair really bothered me. I came eventually to the conclusion that it wasn't the sex. It wasn't. It was the fact that we'd been lied to, that we'd been ignored, that all these other things. And the sex part of it was just the focus that we were focusing on. But all those things could have happened without it. If he'd stolen a whole bunch of money from us or something, we'd also be mad. I guess what I'm trying to say is that to some degree, I still have issues of sex negativity that I try to overcome. But now that I'm aware that sex in and of itself isn't a moral issue, it's the circumstances that surround it that are the moral issue, I'm much more open to accepting sex as a potentially positive thing. It's not positive or negative. Like, in our case, for us, if we don't want sex, we shouldn't have to have it. And a lot of people who claim to be sex positive sometimes don't understand that. See you next week.